Before we begin, remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share this with anyone who you think needs to hear this message. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can click the join button, become a member, and get access for free to the exercise performance course where I teach you to squat, bench, deadlift, shoulder press, do pull-ups, and dips. Not only that, but you will also get the audiobook of the Book of Puck, narrated by me, and also the exclusive podcast for members, the Coffee Cast, where we do weekly Q&As. Now that we've had that out of the way, let's begin. And begin we shall. Hello, good afternoon. This rainy afternoon, apologies. So, I wanted to do a reaction video, which is completely in the opposite direction of what I usually do. However, I left a comment on the video I wanted to react to and it got deleted. And I'm like, you know what? Never mind then. Never mind then. So, okay, you don't want to have a civil discussion? Fine. Never mind. Let them burn. That's where let them burn applies. Like, hey, here's an olive branch. You're like, Okay, well, more olive for me. Okay, so we're going to do CorporateLand today. Hello, John. The exclusive podcast is just Pokemon and Mario. Just kidding, it's good with tips. Well, it's a little bit of both. Of all three. I suck at platforming on a keyboard. Oh, God, it's horrible. But, yeah, when there are Q&As and questions and things like that, it is more than just playing video games. Way more. But enough rambling from me. You're not here for the rambling. Maybe you are, and if you are, just let me know in the chat, and I'll be happy to ramble about certain things. Like people getting angry for me asking if they have Wi-Fi. Oh my God! No wonder we lost the gender war. Sorry, but guys suck. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't go into this, but I'm gonna. My God, guys suck. So, okay, I'm not going to mention exactly where, but some guy was complaining about something that he couldn't download something. And he was a bit pissed off about that. I'm like, don't you have Wi-Fi? It's like, well, we can't all have a cubicle job like you and blah, 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 and you ruin it for everybody. I'm like, okay. It's like, okay. And I was apparently the scourge of worlds, and thanks to people like me, everything is ruined. And I'm like, well, at least I have a job for Wi-Fi. So I got that going for me. I guess. It's like, Jesus Christ, really? You're going to act like a petulant child just because I ask you have Wi-Fi? Like, Christ, guys suck. And they suck bad. It's like, wow, people. But oh well. That's what we're here for, to educate ourselves, to learn and to be better, I guess. You know what? Hit the like and we'll get into it. Oh, wait. Okay, John, real quick. Okay, Jack, since you are a YouTuber, and YouTubers have opinions on everything, we do. What? Am I a YouTuber? No, okay. What's your thought on the UK Prime Minister resigning? Do you think she'll start an OnlyFans? She will not start an OnlyFans. That's one. Because OnlyFans really isn't as profitable as one thinks. And what are my thoughts on the UK Prime Minister resigning? I mean, from what I first heard of her, I was kind of like, I was impressed. It's like Reaganomics and things like that. It's like small taxes on everybody, and we're going to cut down regulations and whatever. I'm like, okay, I kind of like this woman. And then all of a sudden, everything turned to shit because apparently from the inside out, people weren't too happy with that or whatever. And apparently she is the shortest prime minister. No, the prime minister with the shortest term in office. Well, I just got one thing to say. Leave it to a woman. I'm sorry, girls, but come on, you make it so easy. Stop making it easy on me, okay? Stop making jokes easy on me. It's like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault you make up the most funny situations. So, okay, boys. The link to the original post is here. Here. And indeed, Billy Bob is right. Most chicks don't do OnlyFans. They really don't. They really don't. But okay. Introduction. Just a short CorporateLand post, primarily applicable to sales guys, but also helpful for others. Restaurant lockdown for sales guys. Edits. Extensive. I added some info at the end about how to taste the wine, etc. This post got long in a hurry. Well, here we go. So when the economy is in a recession, which we are now, guess what industry gets nailed? Well, trick question, because there's more than one. But restaurants, especially fine dining, back during the Great Recession, high-end restaurants were begging for business. Fleming's in Boston would pick you up in a Mercedes anywhere in the city, gave you a discount on wine, and dropped you off afterwards. Times still aren't so great. There's plenty of opportunity out there. So how does this advance the red pill sales guy? Simple. If you are the kind of sales guy who gets to wine dine his clients, you should be able to capitalize. How? Pick a high-end restaurant or two, and no, not Applebee's. Pick a place that you can bring multiple customers. So you want to pick something with very broad appeal. Steak, French, Italian, yes. Indian, vegan, seafood exclusively, no. A local, a locally owned one is probably going to be more open to it. But sometimes you can get a GM with a brain in his head. General. Go in during non-busy times. Ask to speak to the general manager. Thank you. Introduce yourself. Give him your card. Explain to him that you are in sales and you often have occasion to take your clients out to dinner. You can drive business to his place, but you want to feel comfortable there. And he has a one here for a note. Ask the following things. First, you want to be greeted by name by the Miter D without introduction. Miter. Don't you just mean the waiter, Uncle Vas? Maitre. Second, you want to be shown to your table immediately. It should be waiting for you. You know how you go into a place and they have little reserved signs on the different tables. That's what you want. Indeed, they should be perfectly willing to let you choose your table since you're there already. Third, you would like the chef to make a visit to your table during the meal. This may not always be possible, but if it's not busy and you're a VIP, they will make it happen. Alternatively, they might suggest a kitchen tour because it's easier for them. Other places will say, fuck no. And well, you can either forego that bit or pick another place. Real update on the chat. No update there. There we go. Fourth, another option is kitchen tour. I've been in more New York City kitchens than I care to, but I have a customer who loves that shit. So I've been in kitchens where they don't actually have a tour, but made one up for us on the spot. One included their very dramatic wine cellar. And another one made us up some cocktails involving liquid nitrogen. There's reason they have 3 Michelin stars. The above cost the restaurant $0, and they should be happy to accommodate. If not, take your business elsewhere. Now, for the nitty-gritty, things involving money. Fifth, ask for a discount on wine. The markup on wine is fucking enormous, like 200 or 300% or more. Ask for 30% off. Go down to 25% if you want. If they get a bottle for $85, the vineyard price on some very good Pinot Noir I favor, and sell it at $270 and you get 90% off, $90 off, they still are making nearly double what they paid. Yeah, I mean, this is one thing where I'm not a big guy on whining and dining and going out to restaurants. Every time I go to a restaurant, I'm like, they paid this for it, they paid that for it, blah, 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 blah. They're making that much profit on it. They're making that much profit on it. Oh, I could have just bought this at the store and got an entire bottle instead of one glass. So, yeah. Plus, every time I leave a restaurant, I'm still hungry. So it's like remember the whole debate? Sorry. Oh, wow. Remember the whole debate a while back of, do you go to dinner on a first date? And it's like, no. No. Why would you? And a lot of people lost their minds, even guys. Like, it shows investment. Yeah, investment that a stranger shouldn't have. You don't know each other. What if after 5 minutes you're already like, oh, never mind? It's like, okay, and then you got this entire dinner waiting for you, and you're buying. Like coffee, the whole coffee date thing, that isn't like a disrespect thing or whatever, or a low investment even. It's more, hey, I don't know you, you don't know me. Let's see how we vibe and we'll go from there. But like apparently there were people who were like, no, a real man takes you out to dinner, and cue the music. Because I've said this before, a real man, that whole quote, that whole idea of a real man is nothing more than a shaming tactic because it bloody works. Men have always had the, how do you call that? The, what am I looking for? What is the word I'm looking for, boys? Men always want to prove themselves. And the whole, a real man would perfectly plays into that because, wait, are they thinking I'm not a real man? I am a real man. And then they start doing stupid shit. It's like, never mind. And this is why I really wanted to respond to that video, because, why did you do it in the end? I don't know. It's kind of like, I went Cartman on it. Like, screw you. I'm going home. But it, what was it called? Hookup culture is bad for men as well, or bad for boys as well, because, yeah, boys are going to participate. Well, whatever. But at the end, it was like, oh, did you know that a lot of men are lonely because of hookup culture and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that is not because of hookup culture, dear. That has nothing to do with it. And then they kind of made the case for marriage because marriage fights loneliness. Do you know how the red pill came to be? That had everything. Well, not everything. It had a lot to do with marriage not solving the loneliness problems. Robin Williams said it best. He's like, there is no greater pain than being surrounded by people and still be lonely. That is what marriage is to a lot of people, men and women included. Men and women. Marriage is not the salvation for your problems. But that video kind of made it look like it. And they had a clip of Joe Rogan saying, well, I have this friend and he's 45 years old and he's still not married and he's lonely. Yeah, because he's still relying on other people to fix his loneliness. That's the problem. If you're going to rely on a woman fixing your loneliness, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be a hell of a lot lonelier. Plus, go read the Myth of the Lonely Old Man by Rollo, Which was kind of my comment on that video, where it's like, hey, I think you could have done a better job arguing this and this point, and I would invite you to read X, Y, and Z. And then that comment got deleted. And I'm like, okay, well, screw you guys. I'm going home. But how did I get to this? Oh, yeah, the coffee date thing. It's like, it would just utterly suck to pay for something and dine with someone that is really not in your best interest. And coffee is cheap, but it gets the job done. Because this is what I don't get either. Like, girls, women, my sisters, what is a date for? To get to know each other? Do you need dinner to get to know someone? I'm sorry, but when I'm eating, I'm not talking. No, I'm a disgusting Neanderthal when I eat. I'll give you that. You wouldn't believe the amount of times people have asked me, like, do you even chew? It's like, yeah. Are you even enjoying your meal? It's like, yeah. Why wouldn't I be? Otherwise, I wouldn't be eating it if I'm not enjoying it. It's such a weird question. It's like, I hate going out to eat together. I really do. It's a bit of a subjective thing. But with coffee, you can't do that. You can't gulp down coffee. And if you can, I salute you. Hot as hell. Speaking about hot as hell. You might also ask for this discount when you come in on personal business, i.e. with the wife, girlfriend, primary plate, and or out-of-town guests. This is more akin to having a restaurant on lockdown, as one reads about from time to time in the manosphere. What do you do on this? What you do on this is up to you. The only real benefit is if you are trying to keep expenses down for your benefit. To wit, we have a client who sends us 8 figures a year. That guy we go long for. DRC, no problem. An aside about wine. If you can, ask to meet the sommelier and the captain while you're meeting the general manager. In fact, it's not a bad idea to ask to see the kitchen at the initial meeting. If you can meet the chef and or sous chef, then great. I realize this seems like overkill, but it's nice for people to be able to put a face with a name. A word about somm. When you are at a restaurant and either are not familiar with the wine list or you are in the mood for something new, ask to speak to the somm. Explain that you have $50 or $100 or $200 to spend on a bottle of wine that night and you would like him to recommend something. If you have likes or dislikes, let him know. For example, I might say, my price point tonight is maybe $150. I like Central Coast and Oregon Pinot Noir, but would not be averse to trying a different varietal. I dislike Australian wine, but I like Tuscan Reds, for example, or things that have some heft, but aren't so big that I have to eat them with a knife and fork, like a big Cabernet. People become somms because they're really into wine. If your somm isn't, then you need to start seeing other restaurants, and therefore will knock himself out to get you the best bottle of wine at near your price point and using your parameters. Sixth. That was bad. Sixth. You can ask about being billed at the office on 7 to 14 days. It would be highly unusual for a restaurant to agree to this, but sometimes it's easier to give them one thing they say no to. One thing you do want is to end the meal without the customer seeing the bill or having it presented at the table. You can either make arrangement in advance or simply get up after dessert or coffee has been ordered but not delivered and excuse yourself taking care of the bill on your way to the gents. It adds to the impression that you're a baller at this restaurant, and this restaurant is like your private club. Seventh, do not cheap out on tipping. This is an American thing. We don't tip in the Netherlands. My firm won't bat an eyelash at 20% tip. If you can get away with tipping more, do it. You're investing in a relationship. It's also okay to send the chef a brief note of thanks compliment on the back of your business card. When I'm dining on my own dime, I prefer to tip in cash. Nothing says great job like new, crisp Yankee greenbacks. That was a thing I had to not necessarily get used to, but it's like, oh, the tipping thing in America. Oh, yeah, that's like a subculture thing. Like, we tip. And what was it? I don't know if this is true, 100% true, but it's like a majority of the income of the wait staff is because of tips, is made out of tips. And I'm like, don't you get paid? Like, that shit won't fly in the Netherlands. You need to have like at least minimum income. Like, tips are nice, but by God. But apparently, like, tips is a huge thing in America, to the point that some people can make a living out of it. Can you imagine the tips Hooters waitresses get? That's the place, right? Hooters, chicken wings, and big tits. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's insane. Hooters, I believe, and I'm not sure, somebody look this up. It's pretty insane. But Hooters, I believe, is one of the few restaurants that kept their beauty standards up. Where it's like, no, we don't hire fat chicks, or something like that. I don't think they blatantly put it like that, but it's like, no, the Hooters waitresses have a certain image you need to like abide by for you to work here, kind of thing. Same as in Korea with the airline hostesses, where they were like, no, a waist above this is not going to fly. Literally, by the way, literally. No. Which is, the last bastions of human attractiveness. It has come down to this. Oh, they fought off a lawsuit against discriminatory hiring practices. Really? Nice. I hope they won. Where it's like, no. This is Hooters, sir. This is Hooters. We rely on attractive women. Like, or attractive. We rely on big jugs. Oh, they won. Nice. Victory. We have victory. Wasn't there a news report of a Hooters girl that did some nasty stuff to a customer dish? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. You wouldn't imagine what like staff does to your dinner if you're a dick. Now, I can't tell you who told me this, but it is an American friend of mine who worked in like the service industry. Am I saying that correct? He worked in a restaurant, and he was very honest with me. He's like, yeah, man, if we had a customer that was being a dick, you tell his friends, like, don't eat that. Because, like, that would be horrible. They would do horrible shit in that. I'm like, Fight Club shit? He's like, yeah, kind of. Like, kind of. It's like, ooh, that's gnarly. Or nasty. Is gnarly the negative one as well? Rad. That's rad. Not rad. It's absolutely horrible. We rely on big jugs. Hooters no longer has the hot chicks. They're going on bigger. Really? Is that because like they had to, or because like there are less and less hot chicks? Just asking. Like, is that because like they had to, or there are just less and less and less hot chicks? Twin Peaks and the girls were not skinny. I mean, not completely fat, but not completely skinny. Yeah, I mean, try finding a skinny person these days. I'm even in the minority on that one. Sloth! Good to see you, sir. Hanging in there. Where were we? 8th. Your job is to be a gracious host. The restaurant's job is to help you. If anything goes wrong, address it privately if possible, and do not blow your cool. As an example, I once had a noob server at a high-end joint accidentally spill a small amount of wine on me. I had turned to talk to the person on my left, and when I turned back, I startled her accidentally as she was pouring and she flinched. It mostly hit my skin, hand, and then some on the tablecloth, so it's not like my suit needed dry cleaning. This was a non-big deal, but unluckily for her, the captain had arrived at exactly that moment. I insisted it was all my fault and handled it with aplomb. Aplomb? I like aplomb. I see her now and again at the same restaurant, where she moved up in the ranks and never failed to come over to my table. If I'm not already in her section, greet me by name and extend courtesies to me. It never hurts to have a friend. Toward that end. 9th. If warranted, review the restaurant online. For one of my regular joints, I wrote a review titled, If Heaven Has a Restaurant. Vaz. Why? The food and service warranted it. And it also buys a shit ton of goodwill. That is true. I emailed copies to the 2 maitre d's I deal with, and they told me it was read out loud at their staff meeting by the HMFIC, who then added, This is how people should feel after they eat here. The review cost me nothing beyond the time it took to compose, less than 1 hour, on company time anyway. And you had better believe that the red carpet comes rolling out when I go there. And B, if I'm going to a restaurant where I am, as I likely to say, a noon guy, my own slang for being a regular, and there's some sort of special occasion involved, then I mention to the maitre d', oh, and if there's a good allergy in your party, fucking tell them. First, when you make the reservations, and second, at the table. Edit. Adding information about how to taste wines at the table as inspired by the false knaves. Do I want to read this? Okay, guys. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Do you want me to read the whole part about tasting wine? Are you interested in the tasting wine part, or were you mostly just interested in the whole how to behave during a company dinner part? Press 1 if you want me to do the wine stuff. Press 2 if you don't. And I will be forgiving. Oh, by the way, also, while you're at it, smash the like button. It really helps. Personally, I prefer a higher tip to waste ratio. Higher hip to waste ratio. And that's cool. That's cool. I mean, different strokes for different folks. I mean, in all honesty, I like a waist like this. It's like my waist is already pretty small. And I would prefer the female in question to have a less wide waist than I do. But if you have time for both, yeah, it's not necessarily time. It's more like, is this interesting, like wine tasting? I'm sorry, but my interest level just plummets. I'd rather do like a bonus one for Vaz. Did I do something wrong? I think I did something wrong. No, I did not. Yes. Yes. I did not do something wrong. Now we're going to do the next CorporateLand. We're going to do that next time. Wait, what's this? A rat race survival guide for new guys? Oh, that's how he did it. Okay, then he re-uploaded them or something? Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Or we can just ramble a bit. Cool too. Wine can be fun, but people get snotty about it very quick. Yeah, they do. Like I'm I don't know how it is globally, but in the Netherlands it's like a complete basic bitch thing to have sweet white wine. It's like that is like the epitome of basic white girl. Sweet white wine. I don't know what I prefer. I think red. No, not sweet white wine. It's like I'm a big talker, by the way. I can't even hold my liquor. No honesty, but like I said, desert wine. Dessert wine. Yeah, I think it's dessert wine. Would not be surprised. I thought pink Moscato was the basic wine girl wine. No. Like in the Netherlands, it's like white, whatever. It's not White Claw, I'll tell you that. Yeah, me as well. Like I like the red. Like not the very bitter one. The less bitter ones. Nothing. You got that. Oh man, apologies. I hum like movie soundtracks all the time. I'm Mexican. I eat too much spicy food that it messes up my taste buds and makes wine not taste good to me. You're not missing out. I tried some varieties of wine and the only fruity ones were okay. Desert wine. I think desert wine would be like the real dry white wine. But you know what? I'm gonna look up some defend, explain, and rationalize. That's a long one. I don't want the long ones. Teachable moment. Every encounter is an opportunity. Ask the red pill. You know what? Resting bitch face. I want to know something. We're gonna look this up. Le resting bitch face. What's with the slight resting? 2018. Wait, is it? No, because I heard that some guys believe resting bitch face is a shit test. Jesus. So I'm on the archive and I put in the search bar resting bitch face. And one of the titles, holy shit. How do I determine I have a resting bitch face or I'm just ugly? Well, my man, I have no idea. How to deal with a resting bitch face? Nope. Resting stoner face? How can I work out my other leg muscles while resting my quads? How about you do like leg curls for the hamstrings? Some people. Women barely resting arm. It's okay to do exercise. I have no idea. I can't find anything fun. I can't find anything bloody fun. Oh, the Cappy Jack conspiracy podcast is not happening this week, unfortunately. I was hoping it would happen this week. But no, Mr. Minimalist was busy because I'm a very important podcaster. It's like, yeah, whatever. Very important podcaster. Very important podcaster, my ass. It's probably like with Chad running off somewhere doing debauchery things against God's will. Why are their faces always in bitch mode? I have no idea. We're losing a bit of momentum here, aren't we? Uncle Vass, save us, Uncle Vass. Plate management. Oh wait, he had a newer one. The importance of frame. Schrodinger's girlfriend. Did we do Schrodinger's girlfriend? I think we did. Yeah, we did that. The importance of frame. Okay, this isn't a very long one. We could do that. You want to do that? The importance of frame? Frame is always important. I don't know. Did we do that? Get over here. Frame is the ability to influence reality. Yeah, doesn't matter. Who's agents of chaos? Oh, yeah. No, we didn't have this one yet. We did not do this yet. L'importance of le frame. The importance of frame. Go. What is frame? Frame is the ability to influence reality around you and dictate terms of your interactions with others. It doesn't matter if it's with a woman, with your friends, in business, or with a stranger you just met. Whose reality is stronger? You want it to be yours. Agents of chaos. Women are agents of chaos. Men wreck other people. Women destroy entire societies. Thottery can bring down an institution. They will fuck your shit up. They say they want a loyal man who will treat them good and never cheat. Bull fucking shit. They want fucking Lucifer Lightbringer. Oh, wow. Fuck, even gay serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer is a sex symbol now. That's how thirsty bitches are for, well, evil. And trust me, no outlaw biker ever cried in his beer because his girlfriend left him for a nice guy. Ever heard of hybristophilia? Am I saying that right, Rollo? Hybristophilia. It's like women and inmates and things like that. Yeah, it's a real fucking thing. It's a bit of a, yeah. Women try and break you down to see if you really are stronger than they are, better than they are. Frame in business. I negotiate for a living. You had better believe that frame matters in business, particularly in zero-sum transactions like trading. I work more on the retail side, and really, I'd say about 30% of the time, I am really protecting the customer from themselves, but still. Plus, usually I have a tremendous advantage in knowledge and experience than my counterpart. A couple of years ago, I did a deal with a girl who had time to be born, grown up, go to uni, go to law school, pass the bar, and get a job. All the while, I was working in CorporateLand. Now, did I rip her pants off? Nope. She's the rookie lawyer for a big client, and I'm going to see her again, which is reason enough. Some folks need to win, but everyone wants to feel like they were treated fairly. So I explained some things that she might ask for in the deal that our side didn't care about giving up, in a way that didn't make her feel talked down to. And in the past 2 years, we have done 3 more deals that have gone smooth as silk. After a call with a different client, when we were doing the post-mortem, which I highly recommend, particularly on the long, complex, difficult deals, The deal maker on our side looked at me and said, when he asked about X, I thought, uh-oh, this one is tough. How is he going to respond to that? But then you handled it, and it was so smooth the way you did it. To which I responded, I do get paid to do this, you know. I could blow some smoke up my own ass here. But the point is that establishing and maintaining frame, is an important skill for success in business. That's the thing. All of this TRP stuff is so much more than just how do I get the goals. It is so much more than that. And I pray for the day. Do I actually? I don't know if I do. But I just hope more and more guys will get that. Where it's like, these days you have like the red pill, like the old forums, Ryan, Rule Zero Dad, Rob's blog, things like that. And then you have red pill trademark, where it's the brand of red pill, where it's like TikTok is full of it. It's like, oh, women only date the top 20%. It's like, yeah, but okay, that's a statistical fact. I wouldn't consider that like red pill. Yeah, but they're in the manosphere. It's like, which even by Ian Ironwood's definition isn't wrong. It's not necessarily wrong. I'm working on that, by the way. I'm working on Ian Ironwood's The Manosphere. It's a very interesting book. And Ian's a very interesting guy, in all honesty. But yeah, it's like, look, the whole frame thing, that is in life. And TRP as a praxeology with the end goal of mental models applied in a productive manner of the individual to reach their desired outcome. And I think that is the best way I can describe it. I'm not going to go in a pissing contest where it's like, oh, this is red pill, this isn't. We're not going to do that. I'm just saying you've got like TRP and you've got TRP, the brand, the movie, the legend, coming this summer. Hypergamy Strikes Back. I'm sorry. I'm not. But yeah, it has become a bit of a joke in and of itself, hasn't it? Establishing frame with strangers. This one is more situational, but I will give you a recent example. I was staying in a hotel where a conference was going on. Let's pray to God it wasn't that one. I got on an elevator with a group of people I don't know and wound up facing a man who was on the phone. I had slid on the end, so I had slid on at the end, so was trying to fit. He was apparently negotiating salary. Like, bro, do that privately. He's not wrong. And he happened to be looking down more or less near my hip area. He also stuttered a bit, which drew attention to him. How big is the package? Me, to the other folks on the elevator, well, that's a rather personal question. Everyone burst out. I mean, come on. That is just the perfect setup. I couldn't wish for a better situation. Everyone burst out laughing, well, except the guy on the phone, who got off on the first stop. Of course he did. I chatted up the other folks a bit, and that was that. The next day, one of them came up to me and said, oh my God, that was so funny yesterday. Oh my God. They're eating him, etc. If I had been in their field, I would have established some new context. I suppose I could have anyway. Now, the most important one that everybody cares about, establishing frame with the woman. You lead, she follows. And as I wrote in High Anxiety, women want you to lead them. They want to turn off their brains and luxuriate. Is that a word? and luxuriate in feelings that she can relax and that daddy will take care of everything. Look, I don't know about you guys, but it is one of the better things to be able to say to like your girlfriend or whatever. It's like, I will handle this. It's like, I got this covered. And you can just look in her eyes and she'd be like, okay. No argument, no nothing. It's just like, okay. This is just 100% trust. It's like, no weird back talk or whatever. Like, no, we don't do that here. But then you're going to get, I keep hating this thing. Maybe this is turning in more into a better episode than I hoped for. But it's this whole... So as of late, I'm getting a bit bored. I think it's seasonal, but the last couple of weeks, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm not putting too much effort into the dating thing. I've got things going on, and I find those way more interesting. When I do dabble my foot in it, and Rolo mentioned this on Rule Zero, like more and more guys in their mid-30s are having the whole situation where it's like, why would I... Good job, Alex. Thank you. Like, why would I settle with a girl like that? Which, first of all, like the word settle in and of itself is already like a negative spin on everything. Now, I'm not saying put a positive spin on it, because certain things you can't put a positive spin on. But I made the argument when Cappy asked me, like, is it even on the table, family and blah, 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 to which I responded, well, man, there are just some dates where you'd be like, I would rather be talking to a wall, which is just the case these days. Or when, let's say, and maybe this is a very stupid thing of me to do, and it could very well be, but I like to sketch out like situations, like how would you respond? No, not even that. Bad example. But what is it? How do I please name an example, kid. Oh yeah. When, let's say, you mention something like, well, don't you think like the guy, or would you prefer a guy who just handles his shit or the shit? And you always get this response of like, oh, but I believe in mutual respect. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. It's like as if these two are mutually exclusive. They fear not getting respect so much, which is nothing more than indoctrination, in all honesty, because, and I've said this before, the word respect has lost all its meaning. They want to be treated with decency. That's something else. I want to be treated equally. No, you don't. No, you don't, and neither do I. Like it does whole equality thing, like the buzzwords everywhere. But then let's say, again, stupid me, but you know what? Maybe I just want somebody who understands basic language, where it's like, you do realize that you're not talking about respect, you're talking about decency, right? Like respect is because of capability, and what you're asking for is like normal, decent human behavior. And then you just see the sprockets turning, where it's like, does not compute, exterminate. It's like, normies and conformists and inferiors, as Cappy used to say. And at that point, it's just like, never mind. Yeah, but don't care got laid. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm past that point. And not to sit on my Brat the pony, the high horse, but I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's like, no, thanks. It's like, yeah, maybe I've hit my epiphany phase. Who knows? Well, I am 32. Who knows? But it's kind of like, yeah, like maybe you'll shag, but you're not going to start a family with somebody who just like, I support the current thing. Russia evil. EU good. Wear your mask. disengaging politely and walking away is the superpower from a recovering nice guy. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times. I have done that a couple of times where it's just like, yeah, I'm not going to respond anymore. Yeah, this is not going to happen. It's like, yeah. Nope. And I know the argument where it's like, yeah, you're just looking for a guy with tits. That's not it. I'm not looking for a best friend or whatever. But let's say I am open to a more long-term thing. I don't want to have to explain every word I'm mentioning. There is a thing called common sense, and I have met girls who have it. There's just not much of them. I'm sorry. And in all honesty, there are not many guys who know it either. There's not many guys who have common sense either. Like in the Netherlands right now, the whole Forum for Democracy thing, I've had like every now and then I do that morning shift. And in the cafeteria, you hear guys say, oh, that party leader, they should like blah. The horrible things, by the way, they're saying, like absolutely atrocious things. And I'm like, wow, you really can't think for yourself, can you? But that's the norm. That's like the average person. And I talked about this on Tuesday, I believe. Like the weight loss thing. Most people follow the dietary advice set up by the government. Now, okay, people will say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Well, these days, a conspiracy theorist is nothing more than somebody who, well, turns out to be right in 6 months. But when it comes to dietary advice, I know I'm right. I know 100% I'm right and they're wrong. I just know. Like the daily recommended amount of protein that the government tells you to have is just, and the protein sources, it's like, by God, it's abysmal. That whole thing about years ago, the article got debunked, thank God. But what was it? Eating more than 2 eggs a day is as unhealthy as smoking. It's like, where the hell did you get that? Eggs are full of vitamins, micronutrients. Eggs are just as unhealthy as smoking. By God. You wonder why people are losing faith. Wow. Diet and exercise. You want to be healthy? Diet and exercise. No. Put on your mask. Get the jab. It's like, hey, shouldn't you be telling people to lose weight? No. It's like, But in all honesty, like, if you're open, yeah, the egg cholesterol thing was a really misunderstood for a while. It still is. But it fits the agenda of like, eat your carbs because carbs are cheap and they make a shit ton of money on it. Like I said, capitalism is a beautiful thing. Corporatism, that's a whole different biscuit. Corporatism is very close to evil. I'll tell you that. Jack, aren't you on the right? Yeah, pretty much am. I am. But I will acknowledge corporatism. That is like, holy shit. Corporatism is like communism with profit. It's a weird, like, hydra of everything wrong with capitalism. And don't get me wrong, capitalism is the best thing we got. But it has its minuses. And even Peterson said this. And I gotta give Peterson his due on this one. He's like, Marx was right about his criticism. He was wrong on the solution. Very, very, very wrong with the solution. It's like, yeah. But he wasn't wrong in his criticism. Like back then in the during the industrial revolution, like how the workers were treated, yeah, that ain't good, you know. That was bad. It's like, yeah, I mean, treating humans like that just for profit? I don't know, man. I don't know. I couldn't live with it. I couldn't live with it. Oh, but why don't people work somewhere else? Well, back then, that really was the only thing you had. And yeah, most of the jobs were you were hired by people like that who not only owned the factory but owned like the villages as well. It was a very strange construction. Like the owner of the factory owned like the apartments you lived in, but also the bar you would spend your money. So it's like this continuous loop of profit. Like all the money you would pay out to your worker, they pay back to you in rent and what they consumed. It's a very strange construction. Yeah, now corporations are enforcing violating constitutional laws at the behest of government. Yeah, exactly. For the unlimited growth of profit. Like I said, hey, you guys know I'm a libertarian. Like diehard libertarian. But isn't that the argument? Like the smaller government is, the less corporations, the less power corporations have. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Vertically integrated monopoly, I believe, is the term. Huh. Interesting. I need to look that up. But when you let corporations run wild, that's not going to benefit people either, which comes back to the whole point I made on Tuesday, which is marketing. Which is marketing, which plays on the insecurities of people. Now, even I, to a certain degree, have to do marketing. I know this for my like personal training services. Oh, by the way, real quick, perfect segue. The monthly consultation group is closed now, but if you want to stay updated on when a spot opens for the monthly consultation group, get on my email newsletter. Get the exercise performance course for free and be updated on when a spot for the monthly consultation group opens again. It is my personal training service to help you guys to get stronger, become better, healthier, lose weight, gain weight in some cases. But yeah, if you want to stay informed on that, go here. But even that is marketing. Like a lot of guys have trouble with the whole fitness aspect. Now, in the marketing, then I have to address issues people have. Now, I can genuinely help them with that. So there's no evil there, no evil intent. However, when you look at like, and we talked about this, the offering, not offering, is it? Yeah, the offering of, let's say, biscuits or chocolate or whatever. That packaging was designed in such a manner that it would trigger you psychologically to want to buy it. Now, is that a good or a bad thing? I will leave that up in the middle. It's going to happen nonetheless. But what we're seeing now is that the awareness of said tactics is being held in the dark, which I think is always a bit weird. The same with how to handle your money, like save 10% from each paycheck you get kind of thing. Like I had to learn that in my 20s, even though I'm kind of like, why wasn't I taught this in like middle school? Like finances, the basics of finances can easily be taught to a child, yet they're not being taught. That could be me, but I think that's weird. Same as like dietary advice. Calories in versus calories out. That's not so hard to understand. Yet I needed to get a license as a fitness instructor to be actually taught that. It's like, why isn't this basic fucking knowledge? But oh well. Governor just got on the stream and looks like it's almost over. Been a busy one for me this week, so I haven't been as attentive on here or Discord much lately. Take my like anyway. I shall take your like and appreciate it, Governor. I hope you're doing well. But we're not done yet because I've been rambling. So, okay, guys, where were we? Oh, this is the last part. Establishing frame with the women. You lead, she follows. As I wrote in High Anxiety, women want you to lead them. Oh, yeah. They want to turn off their brains and luxuriate in the feeling that she can relax and that daddy will take care of everything. In your relationship with women, frame is the foundation of everything. My frame is what lets me date the way I do. My frame is different between me and the average frustrated jump or die married to a fat, bitchy 50-year-old wife who has to eat whatever shit sandwich she serves up and say, "Thank you, honey." Frame is why I can have a roster of 20-somethings and tell other girls I am fucking other girls. In point of fact, I did exactly this earlier in the month. Gotta love Vaz. Seriously, if I want to say that, if there's one thing I would say to Uncle Vaz, it's good on you, man. It's like, nice. Nice. It's just, yeah. The guy is almost 60 now, I believe. And he's still rocking it. Where it's like, he's still in shape, I believe. He's made hella bank, good at what he does, and he's got a, like, vibrant dating life. It's almost 60. Another thing that video I wanted to address, the girl says, well, later in life, you can see that men just as much suffer from hookup culture. It's like, that is not true. That is absolutely not true. Women suffer way more from hookup culture than men will ever do. Look up second marriages. Men tend to marry a second time way more than women. Look at your average happiness meter scale, whatever you want to call it. Look that up. Men, on average, function way better on a later age than women do. But like I said, my comment got deleted, so screw you guys. Where was it? And the uptick in sexy selfies nudes they sent that week was noticeable because girls fear being replaced, not cheated on, and they want to remind me of their goodies. It's true. Women are, on an evolutionary level, perfectly chill with sharing high-value men. They would rather have 5 minutes of alpha than a lifetime of beta. They may say they don't like it, but they get off on competition anxiety. Yeah, that is a strange thing. I told you guys the story about my relationship with 2 girls, right? That was a very strange experience once. And otherwise, I'll tell you the story later. The most delicious thing to a woman is to be compared favorably to other women. Yup. Like, oh man, like, you are so much smarter than the average bimbo. Do not apologize, do not explain, do not make excuses. Women don't dump you for banging other girls. They won't. They will dump you for being a bitch about it. If you are her best option, she's going to want to stay. Make her feel like she is a romance novel. There's a reason to that 50 Shades was a breakout novel. Has 50 Shades outsold the Bible? Or was that just something I misheard? It appealed to a literally untapped market of women who are desperately seeking the wolf. We think we discussed that one. The one thing you cannot do to a woman is bore her. That's why nice guys sleep alone. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing with... Royce said that. Royce. Takeaways. Frame is the foundation of game. The stronger your frame is, the better your life is. Don't believe their bullshit. Never apologize, never explain. Live your life how you want it. Well, exactly. Boom. What a wonderful life lesson Uncle Vaz gave us. Rambling is good. I like longer streams. I'll be here. Nice. Alternate universe, women saving money. Well, the thing is, I have stumbled upon a little known fact that at first I did not know. But that might throw a turd in the punch bowl of what we in TRP have been rambling all about for a while now. Where it's like nice guys sleep alone, women want unapologetic men, and blah, 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 blah. However, have you looked at what the pill does to women? Have you looked at that? Where it alters what they deem as attractive? That women on birth control tend to go for men with less masculine facial features and less masculine behaviors and more feminine traits. It's like, that's interesting. That is interesting. I'm reading a book on it right now. Your Brain on Birth Control. Jack, why are you reading that? Hey, look, 50% of the population is now being goaded into taking a pill, messing up their hormones under the guise of you can get everything you want, which is very funny because in that book, like your brain on birth control, Alex, your brain on birth control. But in the book, like what's her name again? Young lady, what is her name? Dr. Sarah E. Hill. She mentions like, oh, and the pill does this to your hormones, and it does this to your body, and it does this to your bloodstream and your brain. But did you know the pill also made it possible for girls to have it all? It's like, apparently not. It's so funny where ideology meets reason and logic. Where it's like she can't back out of what she found in her research, but she's like, yeah, but, well, on the contrary, we can now go to college without being afraid. Oh no, what was it? It was a horrible phrase. I sent a photo of mine to a friend. I sent a photo of it to a friend of mine. Good job, kid. Good job. What was it? It was such a weird phrase. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah. Should we consider finding alternative means of safety, freeing women from the reproductive consequences of their sexual behavior? Getting pregnant, aka reproductive consequences of their sexual behavior. It's like, maybe, look, I know I'm like pissing in the wind here, but maybe you want to alter your sexual behaviors because behaviors have consequences? No. Like, alter our hormones. That's like, society is weird, man. Says the guy like me podcasting. But it's just interesting to see the things that are so normalized, what they do with us. And when I found out about that birth control thing, I was like, oh, well, that explains a lot. But what I want to find out with it is if it undermines what like TRP has concluded in the praxeology. Like, as we all know, women tend to find more masculine men attractive, blah, 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 blah. However, does the effect of birth control, is it that much of an effect that it throws a turd into the punch bowl? Is what I'm wondering. Yeah, here's a novel idea. Sex makes babies. It's like, What? What? It's like, yeah. Like, you cannot have it all. You're not a guy. Which, such a shame, in House of the Dragon, there was a phrase where, what was it? When a prince has bastards, no one bats an eye. Yet when a queen or a princess does it, the whole realm loses its mind. And it's like, yeah, kinda. But that's mostly because for men, it is way harder to do to get that. Like, as a woman, you have something to protect. There are consequences to your actions, kind of thing. Yeah, but with men too, correct. But if you're the queen and you need to protect your lineage of the king, it's like, yeah, you can't have a couple of random bastards. That is gonna kind of affect a lot of things in the lineage. Where it's like, yeah, but she was queen. Yeah, but that's not the king's son. It's like, oh, who cares? You know what? We're just gonna start the dance of the dragons anyway. Kill a multitude of like small folk. Who cares? Who cares? Oh well. It's a nice talking point, but I doubt it's much more than a statistically significant. Well, and that's kind of what I find. That is something I want to find out. I want to find that out because even Vince noticed back when I was in America. A lot of girls tend to walk with these soy guys. I see it more and more as well. Where it's like, like every now and then there's a glitch in the Matrix where biology takes over. It's like, yeah, fuck this drug you're taking. That guy, I want him. Like the what's it called again? Ovulation phase, whatever. Dutch, English, brain fart. But I wonder, like, how significant it really is. I'm just wondering. Let me wear my tinfoil hat. Okay? Let me wear my tinfoil hat. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something. But it does tell you something. Let's say you have a partner and you know all about this on the birth control pill, and you're kind of like, yeah, I don't want you on that stuff. Like, we'll buy rubbers for the rest of our lives. And if I really don't want to have kids, we'll have the snip. It's like, yeah, how much is it worth, you know? But it kind of makes you wonder as well, like, wait a minute. Like, if she's on birth control and she's with me, am I feminine? Says the guy with the long hair, by the way. I mean, you know what I mean. But like I said, I found it an interesting thing, and I'm doing some research on it, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But oh well, I think that's it for me today. Yeah, you know what? That's it. I've went on enough rambling, and I've dug my grave. There we go. A monthly consultation course. Rewind. The monthly consultation group at this moment is full. However, if you want to stay updated on when a new spot is available on the monthly consultation group, you can get on my email newsletter and get the exercise performance course for free, and also stay updated on when a new spot will be available for the monthly consultation group. Got it. Hey, Daniel. I was just about to leave. Don't overthink it that. Oh, let me overthink, Sloth. Let me overthink. That's where the best ideas come from. Me overthinking things. I like it when I'm overthinking things. Just truth the mug. Tell your friends you know the truth. Right here. The best mug. Do I want to plug anything else? Carl from Black Label Logic. The audiobooks. Narrated by me, written by Carl. And do I have anything else? Hey, you know what? You don't want to screw up your finances. Aaron Clary's Financial Excellence course. I support Aaron Clary. I hope to do a podcast with him next week. I will be looking forward to that. So, guys, do me a favor. smash the like button. It's free. It's possible. Oh, one more thing. That's not the one. I forgot to share this. The importance of le frame. There we go. Look, this was the post we just discussed. You can find it over here. TheRedArchive.com. I love that website. Oh, I love that. There is so much gold in there. They should have done like a top 50 moderator posts or something. Just the top 50 users. That would be amazing. I don't even know if they had that many users that were like that valuable. But oh well. Subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below your thoughts of this show. That's it from me. Hit the like. Peace the hell out. Cheers. Oh, and I'll see you on Friday night, Saturday morning for me. Goodbye.
Look, subscribe to Jack's channel, you tight asses. It's free. It's a click of a button, and it helps this man who you're watching. If you're enjoying this content, then subscribe.